Good evening, everybody. Welcome in as we present this week's edition of the Milford Informer. Once again, I am your host, Tim Coet. We are here to kick off your Columbus Day weekend by showing you some of the most recent news and sports items from the Milford area. Among our top stories tonight includes a ceremony recently held over at the high school to mark the beginning of an exciting new educational opportunity for Milford students. Let's show you the details on that and more in this week's Top Stories Rundown. Tonight, we'll show you highlights from a special ribbon-cutting ceremony held over at the high school as the district ushers in a brand new banking and business management program. Also tonight, we'll feature a recent edition of MPS Talks, where Dr. Joseph asks students, faculty, and parents the question, why do you love the Milford school system? And also tonight, see how the Ruth Ann Bleakney Senior Center gave senior residents a comprehensive look at the various services in the area at their Senior Expo. Earlier this year, we gave you a comprehensive look at the Milford High School HTM program and how it has been giving students a rare opportunity to gain both practical on-the-job training as well as classroom instruction within the hospitality and tourism field. This week, the Milford Schools held a ceremony honoring the start of a brand new program that will bring the same level of instruction and hands-on training within the world of banking. Here now is a look at that ceremony that was held recently at the new Milford Federal Branch, located inside Milford High School.
Good evening, and thank you so very much for joining us tonight to celebrate the opening of our Milford High School branch of the Milford Federal Savings and Loan Association. To start our program tonight, I would like to recognize a number of individuals who made this night possible. First, I want to thank Carrie Bannock. I'm so glad that Carrie could come back from Framingham tonight to join us. Carrie's vision and leadership gave birth to this new business and banking program. Carrie, you've left many important legacies at Milford High School, but your work to launch two innovative career training programs at this comprehensive high school really distinguishes you from other principals both in the region and at Milford High School. You've set the bar very high for me going forward. I'm excited to work with my colleagues to build on your work here in this business and banking program. And so on behalf of the school community, thank you for giving us the opportunity to do so. Second, I want to thank our partners at Milford Federal Savings and Loan Association. In particular, we're so grateful to Cynthia Casey, Michael DeChico, Hildy Lewis, and Amanda Ailman. Cynthia's support for this initiative is a demonstration of the bank's commitment to our community and to our schools, and her leadership in this area is a model for business executives in our community. Mike DeChico has been the coordinating force behind this project, and his lead role in the construction of this building has been instrumental to its launch. Hildy's long-term partnership with our teachers has led to the development of this unique curriculum. And last but certainly not least, Amanda has joined our instructional team here at the school, and she's teaching our students on a daily basis. She's a model of professionalism, and we are very fortunate to have her here with us, joining the team at Milford High School. Third, I want to thank my colleagues Alex Dion and Judy Shea, the teachers in our business and banking program. Judy couldn't be with us here tonight, but I'm glad that Alex is, and you'll hear from Alex shortly. Alex and Judy have worked closely with Hildy to develop an exciting curriculum that's integrating classroom studies with workplace experience. The difference between what I think is a good school and a great school is teacher leadership. And Alex and Judy are the kind of teacher leaders that we need here at Milford High School and that make it a great school.
Education is an important part of Milford Federal's community services mission. We are very grateful to the school committee and high school for giving us this opportunity, for collaborating with them to bring real-world, hands-on learning experience to the students in their banking and investment program. Our hope is that this experience will help the students build a solid foundation that will lead them on a path to achieving their goals in a financially secure future. In addition to the educational initiative, this new branch will provide convenient banking services to the students, teachers, staff, and administration.
Calvin Coolidge, the 30th President of the United States, once said, "The business of America is business." And now the business of Milford High School is also a business, which is again, very exciting. We are thrilled to begin the business and banking program at Milford High School and are unbelievably excited to partner with Milford Federal. Programs that combine real-world work experiences, a connection to potential future careers, and academics provide students with fantastic opportunities to apply what they are learning in the classroom to an authentic setting. Many of our students at Milford High School pursue their studies in business at the college level, And I see this program as a link between the high school experience, the college experience, and future potential careers.
We've actually been working with Milford High School for the last several years in the business program with Judy Shea. We've had people from the bank coming in and talking to the kids about good credit, financial literacy, the importance of savings and such. So it was kind of like a natural progression that we just kept talking about, well, what if we put a bank in the school? And it was part of the curriculum that they're working in the bank and learning on the job, real life skills as well.
We've certainly sent a lot of students off who end up majoring in some sort of something that has to do with business once they go to college. We saw that about 26% of our students were majoring in something that had to do with business. So we thought it was a great opportunity to start a program here at MHS, give students opportunities to both have the classroom experience but also have the experience within the bank branch to start to develop some interpersonal skills, some business skills, financial skills that they can hopefully take with them into whatever post-secondary endeavors they choose to go into.
We wanted to bring some more experiential learning programs to the school community, and there had been talk over the years about the possibility of a bank branch, but exactly how to do that and how to get something like that off the ground was the big mystery and the big question, like how do you do that? And so there was a lot of investigation and research. I had been talking with some folks like Mike DeChico about how would something like that work, and then I learned about the RFP process and everything that would be involved in trying to build something like this for our students. And that started over 3 years ago. Those conversations started, and it was through a lot of collaboration with our teachers, with the community, with folks in the know, in the world of business in this community, with our superintendent, that we were actually able to start having some real great dialogue about how could we do this, and who do we need to talk to get this off the ground. So I worked with the school council. They were very instrumental in helping me and guiding me through this process. There's parents and community members on the council who are business people, and there's Mr. Calagione, who's a lawyer, so he was very knowledgeable, and I talked with our town council, Attorney Moody, he helped as well. And so, long story short, we were able to create an RFP, and we put this RFP out to the community and asked for all the area banks if they'd be interested in this type of collaboration, and lo and behold, Milford Federal came through and they responded to that RFP.
I was always interested in banking and the business portion of it. And I thought that having a banking business background, it'd be great to excel in my skills and as an individual. I'm expecting to learn how to process mortgages and balance spreadsheets and learn how to do checking accounts, bank accounts, and open accounts and just assist customers. I think about being a banker or a teller. My ultimate goal would be a banker to help with mortgages and finance people.
One of the long-term goals for us is going to be to have our, so right now the class is for juniors and seniors. Obviously, this being the first year, we only have juniors. 2 to 3, maybe 4 years down the road, sooner rather than later would be best, but we want to have our seniors be able to have internship opportunities outside of the high school. That's the ultimate goal. So whether that's at Milford Federal or at other local businesses, that would be one of our long-term goals. So I think starting them as juniors, getting them the experience here in the school at this bank branch, and then obviously the classroom experience, and then that will hopefully lead to internships as seniors. They can put that on their resumes. It should help them applying for colleges, and then obviously get the practical experience that they need.
It was a huge collaboration in the school to bring this to our students. So it's just a joy and a privilege to be here to see this come to life and to see the students and how enthusiastic and how happy they are to be a part of this program.
Have you been tuned into our MPS Talks series here on Milford TV and on YouTube? MPS Talks has been continuing to grow as it gives the community a window inside the Milford Public School system, shedding light on different aspects of school life, student involvement, and the latest educational innovations and school technology. In one of the most recent installments of MPS Talks, Dr. Matthew Joseph invited a series of guests from across the district to be part of the show, asking them simply, why do you love the Milford Public Schools?
I love the Milford Public Schools because it is a great place to learn and the teachers are nice. My favorite teacher is Miss Hart. She is my favorite because she is nice and she helped me when I didn't know math problems. Eu amo a Escola Pública de Milford e eu estou indo para o 4º ano no Woodland.
Hi, my name is Shannon Cormier and I'm an incoming senior at MPS. I have lived in Milford all my life, and within the 17 years here, I have been given many opportunities to succeed that have varied from academics to athletics. I really enjoy school, and I have my elementary school teachers to thank for that. They always made learning a fun experience for me, and this trend only continued as I went into middle school and high school. MHS offers numerous courses for students to take, varying from sciences to art to technology classes. These classes have allowed me to widen my education experience by showing me both my strengths and weaknesses. I have also learned these things through athletics. I've been on both the varsity field hockey and varsity softball teams since my freshman year. The athletic programs at Milford are honestly like no other high school in the area. The coaches create a fun and competitive atmosphere to help both individuals and the team to improve on skills and sportsmanship. The athletes are also given opportunities to become better leaders through different leadership conferences supported by our athletic director, Mr. Boucher, and the Milford Boosters Club and other organizations.
The Milford school system is amazing, and there is no school better than Milford High School in my mind. My favorite part of the school and what gives a great start to my day is the music department. This department has the most energetic and friendly group of kids I know in the school, and no one knows how to have fun time like the music kids. I love how the department itself breaks down into band, chorus, and orchestra, with some people doing 2 of them, and even further into instruments or voice range. These small divisions become very similar to families within the larger family of the whole department. Everyone is willing to help out someone else who is struggling with music or even other school problems. From my experience, I can say that music department helps upcoming freshmen ease into the school and helps them make new friends and get comfortable at high school. The upperclassmen are always available to show a new student around and give them a friendly face to know in the halls. The kids make up the music department, but the teachers are what make it amazing.
What I love most about teaching in the Milford Public Schools is being able to work with students from such a supportive community. I love getting to know my students on a personal level so they grow not only academically, but socially and emotionally as well. I've always thought that the conversation at the end of the day while we're waiting for the bus is just as important as my lessons. My goal is to help foster students who believe in themselves and become lifelong learners that value the importance of academics in Milford Public Schools. I love seeing children coming to school smiling and excited about what is going to happen on that day. I've always felt that Milford is a community that defines the word community by how everyone works together to help make Milford a better place for our children. That is made possible by the great colleagues that I get to work with every day at Woodland. It's such a fantastic place to work, and I'm fortunate to be able to interact with such an encouraging, friendly staff. I've always thought that Milford is a great place to grow up and live, and a huge part of that is the dedication of our teachers.
Hello, my name is Viola.
And my name is Julia.
We like the Milford Public Schools because Milford is the very first place we came to and we are very attached to it.
إحنا بنحب مدارس ميلفورد علشان ميلفورد هو أول مكان جينا له.
It's also the very first place where we learned English, which is very important for us. We also love the teachers here in Milford.
Why do we love Milford Public Schools? Because communication is a priority. Because working together as parents and professionals, as a team, is a priority. My children go to school happy and confident because they can hear and they can see us working as a team, and we are ever grateful.
Last week, the Senior Center held their annual Senior Expo. To check out the event, we sent one of our Milford TV crews on hand to talk to Sue Clark and her staff and get a look at this year's festive event.
Today is our Senior Expo, and I'm happy to say that we have over 40 vendors here representing all the needs of the seniors. We have our fitness crew up on the stage now doing live demonstrations. We also were able to give out 200 free lunches, and we have a free flu clinic going on upstairs. This event couldn't be done without my dedicated staff, Dolores, Nancy Potter, Susie Cadron, and all the volunteers. We had over 18 volunteers helping out throughout the day to pull this whole event together.
It's just a great program, and it's so gratifying to see the Senior Center used like this. You've got a whole host of vendors and providers, all with a particular interest to the senior community. So it's a great opportunity for seniors to get out on a beautiful day, come here and see all of these different providers, vendors, and so forth in one location, and get a lot of valuable information and benefits.
Are you going to jump in on the Zumba act?
No, I think I'll hold off on the Zumba today.
Zumba is a big hit, I'm not going to lie. Over the last year, the fitness center has grown extremely, I can't even beyond, we used to have one treadmill and a bike. And now we have all this equipment, seated, standing, elliptical, 3-stack. We have a rowing machine, very popular. And I think we're going to have to expand into another room soon because it's just been amazing. And if you're a member of the Milford Senior Center, it's free to use.
As we get older, especially in women, when you lose your hormones and the bones get less dense, so you have risk for fractures. So I'm measuring bone density. I have a machine, it's an ultrasound. It measures the bone in your heel, which is very close to the measurement in your hip.
Most of the vendors do represent some kind of senior care. So we have all the assisted living facilities, and they all were gracious enough to donate the lunches for this event. We have a Countryside Nursing Home, Genesis. We have all the
fire department.
The fire department, the police, the sheriff, the hospital, banks.
The whole entire community.
Right.
Here,
all the elder care agencies are here. So it's really a nice event. I think it went very well.
Once again, the Milford High School football team finds themselves on the road this week. The team will be in action on Saturday afternoon, taking on Sharon in an important division matchup. For those looking to check out the game in person, it will be taking place over at Sharon High School on Saturday afternoon, with the action kicking off at 3:30. So while the team readies themselves for a Week 5 clash, let's take you back to last Friday night, where the Hawks, fresh off their first win of the season, took on a very tough opponent in the North Attleboro Rocketeers. Week 4 brought Milford's first official home game of the season. Fresh off their first victory of the year, the Hawks hoped to make it 2 in a row, but to do so they'd need to get past a talented and veteran-heavy team in the North Attleboro Rocketeers. Milford won the opening coin toss but elected to defer, allowing 3-year starting quarterback Chad Peterson to lead the Rocketeers offense onto the field first. Peterson would keep the ball on the ground through the majority of the opening drive. On the second play from scrimmage, junior running back Brendan McHugh would see a gaping hole develop, and he would quickly cut upfield and into Milford territory on the 23-yard gain. A few plays later, on 3rd and short, North would look to run it up the middle, but Neil Arquilano was able to get good penetration into the backfield, and he would wrestle McHugh to the ground, leading the Rocketeers to make a tough decision on 4th and 2. North would elect to go for it, and Peterson, off the play fake, would connect with Nicholas Ranieri for a 10-yard gain, keeping the drive alive. Eventually, the Rocketeers would cap off the 11-play, 68-yard drive with a 3-yard stroll into the end zone for Brendan McHugh. North Attleboro would fail on a trick play on the 2-point conversion, so the score would remain 6-0 in favor of the visitors. After that drive ate up over 6 minutes of the first quarter clock, the offense, led by junior Ryan Pearl, was eager to see the field. Unfortunately for the Hawks, North was ready for their run-heavy offense, dropping Milford for 2 big losses on 1st and 2nd down, en route to a very fast 3-and-out. On their second possession, North Attleboro would continue to have success in the ground game. This time it's Ranieri who eludes a series of tackles on his way to a 30-yard pickup, taking North down to the Milford 22. North would take it down to the closing seconds of the first quarter before Peterson would take matters into his own hands, racing to the end zone from 6 yards out to increase the visitors' lead. On the ensuing kickoff, Captain Ryan O'Toole would look to be in trouble as the ball bounced in and out of his grasp, but he would eventually secure the ball and would produce a solid return out to the 35-yard line. But the frustrations would continue for the Hawks offense as they would fail to produce a first down yet again. As the second quarter continued, North Attleboro would keep the pressure on the weary Hawks defense.
And he will run it himself. Up ahead, racing past the defense, accelerating inside the 10 to the 5, diving towards the pylon. Is he in? And just shy of the goal line, down to the 1 yard line. So 43 yards on the rushing play by the quarterback, Chad Peterson. On first and goal, North Attleboro plowing ahead, and they are in for the touchdown. It's McHugh who finishes it off. He scores his second touchdown of the game.
With the deficit now at 3 scores, Coach Vazakis would switch gears, sending Colby Pyers out in the hopes the Hawks could finally start to move the ball in the right direction. With less than a minute to play, Pyers, with pressure in his face, would send a throw away that would be hauled in by Chappelle Feaster, giving Milford their first down play of the game. With less than 10 seconds to go in the half, Pyers would look to hook up with Feaster again. The junior would accelerate past the North Attleboro secondary, but the ball was overthrown and Milford would be unable to come away with points before the game reached halftime. Milford would have the ball to open up the third quarter, and the offense was anxious to finally get the team on the scoreboard. On the opening play from scrimmage, it's the captain Ryan O'Toole with the big 14-yard gain to put Milford in North Attleboro territory. 2 plays later, it would be another senior captain coming up with a big play.
On first down and 25, they toss it back. Now it's Pointer looking to throw it downfield. He has a man open, and the catch is made. Milford opens up the bag of tricks as the pass is completed downfield to Tyler Joyce.
A few plays later, Milford would look to Tyler Joyce once again.
Byers claps the hands, takes the snap, looks to throw, lofts it towards the end zone again, looking for Joyce, who is there, and he makes the catch. And it's a touchdown for the Scarlet Hawks.
A 14-yard TD connection from the sophomore Pyers to the senior Joyce. Sean Lehane would fail to convert on the PAT, keeping the score at 20-6. Unfortunately, that was as close as Milford would get on the night. After North Attleboro failed to score in the third quarter, Chad Peterson would collect his first touchdown pass of the night, connecting with Nolan Buckley from 20 yards out. That would be the final point scored of the evening. North Attleboro would walk away from the Week 4 matchup with a big division win, defeating Milford by a final score of 27-6.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, you saw the varsity team up close and personal last night, and obviously, you know, reading about it this morning and people at the game last night talking about the offensive struggles and we'll get into some of the offensive situations and the adjustments you guys made during the game. How did the North Attleboro defense look from your perch last night?
Solid, fundamentally sound, good tacklers. They run to the football. And the one thing about North Attleboro, they don't make many mistakes. They don't make many mental errors, and they're very aggressive up front. They got good linebackers, and they got guys that can cover. So it's tough. It's tough to move the ball on a team like that. And they're, one thing they do really well is they're well coached and they get after the football. And sometimes, it's against a team like that doesn't make too many mistakes. It's tough. It's tough to run the ball. And we did make some adjustments offensively at halftime. We started making those adjustments in the second quarter. But at the end of the day, they tackled well, they played physical up front, and they just had a better night.
You had the war package for part of that first half. You made adjustments to the spread, able to get some points up, I believe, in the second half of the game. Talk a little bit of, you just alluded to it, but talk a little bit more about that adjustment and about being able to play both ways.
Yeah, so, you look at last week against Canton in a rain-drenched, soaked game where War, seemed unstoppable. We were able to move the football up and down the field, and we won the game. And then you fast forward to last night where they had an answer. They played aggressive. They played physical. They were fast off the ball, and it was tough to move it in War. So we got out of War and we got into our spread package, and that was a little more effective. We got our sophomore quarterback out there, and he made a couple of nice throws. you know, we were talking at halftime. Should we have gone out of war a little bit sooner? Maybe, but you know, it's one of those things where we know the strengths of our team.
Sure. We
know our personnel. So we made an adjustment at halftime, which I thought was good. We went into the half and we got the kids fired up a little bit. They came out, scored right off the bat, and I think there's definitely room for improvement that we're going to make throughout the week. So it was good. It was good to see. There were some positive things out of spread that we can build off of, but unfortunately, it just didn't carry the night.
Yeah, I mean, as you look at the spread offense going forward, obviously you don't want to give away any state secrets here on the radio in terms of what you're going to do moving forward, but certainly practice during the week, how your team responds to certain things, and the matchups, right? Because, I mean, you're going to look at the matchups each and every week too.
Correct, and we do that, with every game going forward. We try and base our game plan off of the strengths of our team, attacking the weaknesses of the other team, and we thought our unbalanced look out of war would have worked a little better. Unfortunately we had some negative plays, and definitely this week going forward, we're treating practice as usual. Business as usual come Monday. We'll correct the things that we didn't do well on war, and we'll expand our spread game a little bit and be ready to go for Sharon on Saturday. Our film, between myself and our defensive coordinator in the film room, we're correcting on every play. We'll rewind the play 3, 4, 5 times and correct, almost everybody on, a single play. And it's the plays that we don't do as well. Those are the plays we emphasize a little bit more because the kids will learn from their mistakes. And when you get to, a team like North Attleboro, it was visibly, they were faster off the football. We weren't really holding our blocks as well in war. And, sometimes the guy across from you is just better, and no X's and O's that you draw up on the board is going to be able to fix that, especially in the heat of a game.
Yeah.
But what we can do is we can get better with what we do with our spread package, because that's why we have both. Holliston's made a living at it for the last 8 years, and we have both for certain situations. So I mean, we're going to get back at it on Monday. Everything that is correctable will get fixed. And I think, the kids are encouraged moving forward because we've got a good, solid group of seniors that they're keeping the team together.
All right, talk a litlittle bit about Sharon. They obviously had a tough game this week. They did play on Thursday against Stoughton. That was at home, a 33-0 loss on an afternoon game for them on a Thursday. Have you had a chance to, obviously familiar with Sharon, playing them over the years, but have you had a chance to start to look at them and some of the things you'll go for on Saturday at 3:30?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, we went down to the game last week when they played North Attleboro at Community Field, and you know what? They impressed me. Those kids, they play hard. That coach has got a really good offensive system. They got a good little quarterback and a good running back, and they'll definitely pose some problems on offense. Defensively, they got a good front four. Couple of big kids, and their linebackers running the football. So, this is not by any means, an easy game. We're going into this game, ready to win, ready to compete, and I'm sure Sharon at home, they're going to be fired up. So, we tip our hats to them. They've done their record may not show up, but they've done a great job so far, and we're ready to go for them.
And that will bring this week's edition of the Milford Informer to a close. We thank you once again for tuning in, and from all of us here at Milford TV, this is Tim Coet saying have a great week. So long, everybody.